Gazans desperate to reach an Israeli hospital, but this time they're not escaping Israeli soldiers. They're Fatah supporters escaping a Hamas crackdown. They're the ones who survived Sunday's intense clashes with Hamas supporters in Gaza. It started when Hamas gunmen closed in on the neighborhood where the Hellis family, a well-known Gaza family affiliated with the Fatah movement, lived. Ahmed Hellis, a prominent local Fatah leader, and some of his family members were injured when armed Hamas supporters attacked the part of the neighborhood where they lived in, turning the streets around their heavily fortified home into a battle scene. The Hellis family then made its way to the nearest Israeli border point, where some of them were stripped down, rounded up, and questioned for hours before being allowed into Israel. Hamas's interior ministry said the attack targeted what it called a hotbed of fugitives, claiming it had found the same explosives that were used in a previous Gaza bombing, one that Hamas had blamed on Fatah.
We are against criminals, not a specific family. But when a whole family stands united against the government and encourages defying the government, saying it would not surrender the family weapons, that's simply unacceptable.
The Hellis family denied the accusations. Meanwhile, Hamas declared the neighborhood where the Hellis home stands a closed security zone, and it clamped down on the streets of Gaza, setting up checkpoints across the Strip and closing down a radio station belonging to a rival faction. Moves that Fatah called collective punishment and a deliberate Hamas strategy to sabotage reconciliation efforts. But this didn't prevent Fatah supporters from briefly abducting a senior Hamas leader in the West Bank, threatening to execute him if the Gaza clashes don't stop. He was released after the Palestinian president intervened and the Prime Minister condemned the incident.
The security situation in the West Bank deteriorated because of the latest events. We condemn in the strongest possible manner the abduction of Dr. Mohammed Ghazali.
As the Fatah-Hamas factional fighting at the highest level shows no signs of abating, Gaza finds itself once again on the verge of a possible lockdown. Israeli tanks have made their way to the Gaza border early on Sunday, the same border that the Hellis family members used to get out only a day earlier. And despite numerous local and regional efforts at reconciliating the two, the Hamas-Fatah infighting is far off from ending, and ordinary Palestinians continue to pay the price for the bitter and violent internal split. Zeina, Awad, Al Jazeera.